Hi, this is Roger. Thanks for dropping by. I just thought I'd show you a tag that could have been written better. I mean, it's obviously an Ascosender cross with a Vanda. Well, that's not a cross. That's a joined up thing. Just do a cross if you mean a cross. Yeah? And what the hell is that there? What's that letter there? If you're going to write something, write it nicely. I had to dig around on the internet to try and find those names to decipher the writing. If you're going to write something, write it clearly. Especially if you're then going to sell it. Anyway, what I really wanted to show you was it's open. So there we go. Now I don't know whether those petals and sepals are going to stay sort of recurved, you know, they're sort of pointing forwards. Yeah, as you can see, it's not opened flat, but bearing in mind it's only just opened, it might actually open flatter than that. It might be one of those that stays just like that, but it's a good bloom, it's a good size. I like the colours. As I said, I had no idea what this was going to be like. This is its first time blooming, but as a preference, that the two petals and the top sepal, bleh, mouth won't work, are beautiful, but the bottom two are not so good. So if I was a hybridizer, I'd sort of say, nah, that wasn't quite what I wanted. You see what I mean, the difference? These have got like a cloudy effect, the bottom two, and the top three look wonderful. You know, the sort of tessellations, I think is the expression you use for that pattern, are gorgeous. It's got a nice lip. And as I'm new to the large flowered Vandas, I've only just noticed the shape of the stems of the actual blooms are like a twisted effect. I never noticed that before. That's good. I like that. Anyway, it's got some more to open. As I say, that may open flat. It may stay exactly as it is as the others open. But at least it's another Vanda that's bloomed for me. First time, and a nice good sized flower, so a nice addition to the plant room. As far as the rest of the Vandas are concerned, they are going to start slowing up now as the day length shorten. Nights are getting cold as well. We've just had a couple of stinkers. Basically it went down to 14 in here last night, and I've got a decision to make now. In here I do have quite a lot of phalaenopsis lurking around. They don't like 14 degrees. In fact, they don't like much below 18. So I've got a choice now. They can stay out here and suffer, and they will a bit, because that is a little too cool for them. Or I can bring them in the house. It's a decision I need to make relatively soon, I suppose. I have got a shelf unit that I used to keep my plants on. I never sort of got rid of it, so I could actually set that up again, and it lives just inside the glass doors. It literally lives where all that clutter is. Yeah, it lives right on the end of that table, and it's about that high. So they'd still get a reasonable amount of light, but they'd have the warmth of the house. And as they're not so fussy on high humidity or anything like that, they'll do fine in there. But what I'm thinking of is doing a sneaky with them. Many people say that cooler night temperatures trigger the spikes. So I'm thinking of giving them a bit of hardship. You're going to stay out here, guys, and you're going to get some cool nights. And hopefully it may trigger some spikes on some of these. These are not all mine. Some of these are my daughter's. There is a fair old few of them. And the same decision for the paphiopedilums. They don't like getting too cold, and they don't need a lot of light, so they could come indoors as well. But then they do need a little bit more humidity. So if I take those indoors, I'll have to set up a couple of humidity trays for them to stand on, just to keep that humidity above, you know what the inside of a house is like with central heating. The humidity is going to drop down go down to about 30%, which is just too low. So we'll have a think and see what we're going to do. But in the meantime, back to Vandas. That's the bright orange one. That's got a spike. And I noticed this morning, I'll stick pictures of these up as I edit the video. But that one there was in a sorry state when I got it, and it had lost a lot of roots. You can see where some of the rotten ends were cut off, and here. It was sat in a pot of perlite that was absolutely wringing wet, and it had been like that for a while, so it lost quite a few of its roots, but it's perked up and it's pushed some good roots out. I'm quite happy with that sort of side of the root plan, and there's a couple of good ones out the back as well. But I just noticed this morning there's a nubbin. Now, Vandas in the UK, or certainly in my environment, the species Vanda that's gone over now, that's the one on the bark, that had 3 good spikes. Now, one of those spikes was there last autumn and it didn't move. It sat there for the whole of the winter, because basically Vandas, certainly my Vandas, they slow up virtually to a standstill. The day lengths get shorter and shorter, light levels get lower, and they're not right for that. They need that bright light and the day length to continuously grow. So mine tend to just slow up and almost come to a standstill, and that may include spikes that have started and then just decide to stop. And then come the longer days, brighter light the following year, those spikes will kick off again. Now that's what happened with the species. And as I said, the one nubbin was there last autumn, and I thought, oh goody, my first ever Vanda. And I waited, and I waited, and eventually about April time it started to move, and then blow me, 2 others followed suit, and I ended up with 3 spikes. Same again with that one up there. That's its first time blooming. Well, it bloomed at what I would call the right time of year, when the light was good, day lengths were long, temperatures were up, humidity I keep high anyway, and it's pushed its first spike out. I will expect another one next year now. Now that it's bloomed, it should come on again. So as far as Vandas are concerned, the species had 3 spikes. That one's bloomed for the first time. This one with the poor root system when I got it was in bloom when I got it, and those blooms didn't last too long, but they are quite spectacular, and it's now got a nubbin. I don't think that one will push on and mature and bloom this year. I think the days are going to get too short before it moves, so I'll probably have to wait till spring for that one. This one, however, is actually moving, so it is growing. So that one has got enough time left to actually bloom. But in the meantime, last little look at this one. A little bit of sun on it. Yeah, it's a nice bloom. I'm pleased with that. Another first time bloomer. So that's my Vandas, just a quick look round. Short video for me, I know. Yeah, some of mine do go on a bit, don't they? Anyway, short one this time. See you next time. Thanks for dropping by.